All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut with Bobby Atkins, and we are the Veterans Edition of Real Estate Jerky. So we try to do the whole thing about veterans, but sometimes we talk about just general stuff
Yeah.
because it does affect you. And then we'll like, okay, this is only going to affect veterans on this one part. And I'm just trying to explain to people why sometimes it sounds like we're just talking regular real estate. Well, because most of the stuff is normal,
Yeah, it is.
right?
Besides the VA loan and some of the intricacies that you know so well.
Right. But I want to bring back up because a lot of times there's issues when you're buying a piece of property that might have pest work that needs to be done. And the seller, as we get closer to more of a seller market again, as we're going to get there, the seller's going to say, well, we're not taking care of this. This is all on you. And in the past, veterans would have to go, sorry, I can't buy this property.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we can do the short form VA that says there's no active pest, we can do that so that doesn't come up. But also the veteran can pay for pest work before it closes if they want to.
It just has to be done before closing like normal, right?
Right. You'd have to have a clear pest then. But you could still go, I'm going to do that work, but I don't want to do it right now, and do that short form VA. So, which is a short form inspection. The Veterans Administration only needs a short form, and I don't have the number. If someone needs that number, reach out to me. What that is as an agent, not as the buyer. Buyer doesn't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
The agents will know that, and just say that's all we need because that's all a VA loan needs.
Yeah, and when you're talking about the option of, sure, the veteran can pay for pest work on the house, but why would you want to pay to have work done on a house until you've closed on it? Because what happens if something falls apart, right?
Right. You don't get your money back.
Now you've done the work for them.
And they're like, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Can we have our money back?
Yeah,
no.
We're canceling the contract now.
Yeah. We don't want to sell it now. You did all the work.
It looks so nice. Why should I move?
Right. And we laugh about it, but that can really happen. So be careful.
I hear that almost every time I list a house that someone's been in for a long time. They're like, now that we painted it and cleared everything out, it looks so good.
Yeah. You gotta be so careful with that stuff, and people don't realize people want to stay if possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Which I don't blame them. I mean, we're here to help you if you're ready to move, but if you're happy where you are, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, that's like those shows that you see on TV, Love It or List It, which was fake. But a lot of times when people do the work for the property, then they're like, okay, now I don't want to sell because this is exactly what I wanted to move to.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah. Well, so for a long time now, we've been looking at, larger houses. Right. And my goal has been, I want to be in the country. I want to have a shop. And I think my wife would appreciate me having a shop instead of tearing up the carport in the garage. Right.
Right.
But the problem is we have an ADU, and now it's like, once you have an ADU, you don't want to find another property without one, because we've always had a family member that's been living with us now, helping them out. And, I look at that scenario and it's like, well, to build one, it's like 120,000. Mm-hmm. So finding a house with an ADU is like what we need to do, or a structure that's there that I can rehab. And so we're kind of in a pickle,
Right. And when you buy those properties, now you're going from the purchase price of what you bought your house for, and you're going to pay more for taxes because you're not 55 where you can move that tax base over.
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm almost 40.
We all don't sound like that when we're that age, but thank you. That's more of a 80-year-old, 90-year-old. But yeah, so you run into that because I was talking to somebody else who's like, I'm gonna sell my property next year and move into those, I guess, over in Ripon or someplace they're building this. I don't want to call it, 55 and older community kind of thing, right? Yeah. And I'm like, well, here's the only issue with that. You're gonna get. She goes, because I don't need my size of my house anymore. That's great, but you have to look at what your numbers are going to be once you move, because your taxes alone, unless you transfer that, which you can, but if it's still more, it could be you're getting a lot more for less. So you got to really be careful. You got to run the numbers before you make that jump.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't pencil out, and
because that Prop 19, you add the difference. So whatever your house is worth currently to the house you're buying is what the tax, and then that difference is what gets added on. So if you go up, then you only add on 200,000, what the difference is, even though your tax base may be 300,000. So you go to 500. Well, if you're going from a 500 to 500, you're not going to add anything on. Hopefully they're not going to hit you with the 500. Yeah. They're only going to hit you with the 300. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I haven't seen that. It's never worked out the way they said it was going to work out.
Gotcha.
But speaking of taxes, since we're the veteran show, if you are a 100% disabled vet and you're buying a piece of property, certain counties have where you pay taxes on a certain dollar amount over. Used to be, and it depends. I haven't on one recently, but the last one I had was like Tuolumne County, and it was anything over 197,000. At that, above that is what you would pay taxes on. So what I
Okay.
mean by, so if you were buying a $400,000 house, you'd pay taxes on 203,000
Yeah, that's
of the
really cool.
value versus the full 400,000 of the value. So it saves you a lot of money. Saves you
Yeah.
half the costs.
Yeah, no kidding. That's really cool.
Even though other states say we don't want a veteran to, if you're 100% disabled, to pay any taxes at all. California is not that way because we spend too much money on programs that we don't really need, but you know, makes us feel good.
Yeah,
It makes the politicians feel good.
Yeah, a lot of the taxing of the housed goes to support the unhoused.
Well, not only unhoused, you mean homeless?
Yeah, well,
I hate that unhoused
I
word.
know. Trust me, man. That's why I like to.
That's like when they changed rape to attack. No, they were raped, not attacked. Attack to me is like I slapped you in the face. That's an attack. Give me a break.
Yeah, it's so funny, like how that term has just all of a sudden become like prevalent. Unhoused people. No,
it's not prevalent. It's only the news is saying it, and the politicians and the government.
So everyone that's on the TV that's saying it all the time.
Yeah, it's the news.
Yeah.
That's the other day was homeless. And they were like, next slide. I mean, unhoused.
Big Daddy's gonna slap you for that one. Huh?
It's give me a break, people.
Yeah,
let's use the right terminology. It needs to be, and it's like the people who they say, you know, kids are food insecurities. No, they're hungry.
Yeah,
I've never seen a kid go, Daddy, I have food insecurities. They won't only say I'm hungry.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm starving.
They say that, but I'm sure there's some scenarios where there's been some parents who've made bad decisions, but you know, nowadays kids, if you want, you can get free lunch.
I know, but I don't like the insecurity, food insecurities. Yeah, we, you know, because somebody I know handles the food shelter, and they're like, yeah, we deal a lot with people with food insecurities. It just doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah,
I'm insecure about where I'm getting my next meal. No, I don't know where I'm getting my next meal.
It's a bunch of academics that didn't like the way words sounded. They thought they sounded too harsh, and they wanted to soften them up, right?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But I don't want the softness. I want the harshness.
Yeah.
So you understand how important it is.
Yeah. Say, hey, that kid's hungry. Feed him.
Yeah. They're starving. They haven't eaten in days. They have food insecurity because they haven't eaten in days. Just doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm a vet. What do you want?
Yeah. Softies, huh?
Yeah. Like those, you don't watch football, but when the game when the Chiefs won over who were they playing? I can't think of who they were playing. Anyway, the stands, one guy in the stands crying with his hat down. It's a younger guy. And it's like, God, how weak are you that you're crying over your football team losing
over a game? Unless he had $100,000 on that.
There's no way he had that because there's no way he afford that. But it's like, give me a break, grow up, be men again.
I agree.
I'm done. I'm sorry. This is about real estate, not about where we should fix our country.
We should just go ahead and just do life lessons, man.
Well, it's just, you know, it's what do you want? You want to, you know, they only want a strong, you know, so these women who are controlling guys, they only want a strong guy when, you know, they're in the middle of nowhere and someone's attacking them. But other than that, they don't want that. And it's okay. You can't have both.
3 a.m. when you hear something, right?
Yeah. You go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a spider here. No, you take care of it.
You got it, babe. You're tough.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, back to real estate.
Oh, yeah.
What are we going to, so VA again, now is the perfect time because people are giving you some money for closing costs. You don't need any money for down. You don't need a lot of money. Veterans have money. Let's not use it if we don't need it. Keep the earnest money deposit as low as possible because most of them get it all back, and which is fine. But, you know, we'll let whoever's the mortgage guy should tell you how much they really need. I know that you guys have a percentage that you normally do, but 9 times out of 10, that money is coming back to them.
Well, so here's an example, right? I recently had someone write a VA offer on a listing of mine, and they tried to come in low at the EMD. And I said, you know, I know being a veteran and dealing with this, that it's not because the vet doesn't have the money. right? Because people think that. But I said it does look like a week off for us.
Right.
Like, can you get the EMD up to 4,900? They said, yeah, we can do that.
Right. And
so it's like just don't lowball it, agents. Just put in the normal 1% because otherwise
I know, but then they
devaluing.
got to get it back from escrow, which takes a while. Their money's like tied up in escrow. What if they need that money for doing this or that, paying for certain things?
Yeah, I'm just saying it makes your offer look weaker. So, right. So just go ahead and do for the 1%, or at least call and give an explanation.
Okay. Yeah, I get that, but it just depends on talk to both sides. What you should do is have the loan person talk to both sides.
Yeah.
I always call the listing agent and just explain the deal and say they do have the money, but they're going to get they're going to get all their EMD back. That's why they wrote what they did. If you need that more than that, they can do it, but they're just going to get it back. And I don't want to, they might need it for moving.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. That's what a good loan officer does is
you got to talk to the other side, explain to them what's going on. Cause that makes it so much easier when you as a listing agent go, okay, I've had 7 offers and only 1 loan guy called me.
Yeah.
Who's going to get that done?
Yeah.
The other 4. I'm just kidding. Other 6. They will. Just not everybody does it. And you should. It makes it a better moving forward. Plus you get to know the other side better.
This is such a relationship business. I don't think people before they get into this business understand that like you have to be friends. You got to play nice with everyone. Otherwise you're not going to get anything done.
Nope. And they remember who you are when you mess up.
Oh yeah.
When you can't close a deal, they'll remember.
I remember my very first transaction. I still remember everyone involved and what a hot mess it was, man. It was not me. It was, someone who's had a lot more time in the business.
Right. And sometimes it's the buyers. It's a seller. They're the ones causing the problems, but it's not always the people in the transaction who have been there. But it's just, we'll work through it. We'll get it done. But most important thing, if you're a veteran with the VA loan, it's so easy to get into contract. Once to do this process as a veteran, you don't have to worry about down payment. You just got to worry about closing costs. Well, sometimes we can get that from seller. We can't get it from the rate anymore. Not for a while. Eventually we will be able to, but not right now.
Yeah.
Give it probably another 8 months to a year. Then we'd be able to get more money from the rate. Cause that's that 3. I think I talked about before. Normally, if you look at the 10-year note, right, the long bond, you add 1.5 to that 150 basis points. That's what the current rate would be.
Okay.
We're at almost 300 basis points on top of that. And that's built because of the fact that everybody buying these loans know they're only going to keep them for a year, 2 years max before they're refinance. So they need to get prepaid a benefit of holding that loan and buying that loan. And that's why that's there.
Yeah.
No one said that, but that's what I figure, because that's what I would want if I'm buying it.
Yeah. If you're buying debt and it's going to get refinanced, right?
Well, because you normally buy it and you want to hold on to it forever.
Yeah.
Right. And now you're like, I only get a year at this. It takes me at least 6 payments to get my cost back. Yeah. So just understand that's why that's that way. And eventually there'll be more, because we used to be able to get a point or whatever towards closing costs, right, through the rate. But right now it's not there. It would be too expensive to do that.
Cool.
All right, everybody, make it a great day. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate you. Again, that we are the Veterans edition of Real Estate Jerky. We're here Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. I think it is.
Yes.
I can't remember. It's my days blend together. As long as I become Rotary president this year.
Yeah.
5 more months.
That's it.
Yeah, I got left. I enjoy it, but it's one of those things. It's, it's like when you're in the last thing I know, I said we're going out, but when you're in the military, you're like, this sucks. And you get out, you're like, that wasn't that bad. That's kind of where I'm at. So
yeah. The age old saying on deployment, and it's proven true in life. The days are long and the weeks are short.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, hot racking it.
Well, I was going to just say, like, every day just seems like a struggle, right? And then you're like, oh, hey, 9 months.
That was fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was enjoyable. Yeah, right.
All right. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you need anything, reach out to us. You can find me anywhere under Ed Parcaut. Get a hold of Bobby Atkins. You can call him at 209-550-1087. He also has what's your group that you have on Facebook?
VA Home Buyers Network.
All right. You can join that and get more information on a daily basis. All right. Make it a great day. Thank you, Bobby.